Hi Steve, I'm James. First question is really about the styling of the Neo Astra. What are the fundamental sort of design cues and design language that you wanted to bring across from the insignia?
Yeah, great question. I think that the whole brand has moved deliberately into a more dynamic, more energetic, more youthful type of design language, and that started with the Corsa. And then we evolved and we brought out the insignia, and the insignia really has resonated with customers and truly has a very dynamic feel and look to it. And I think that when you look at the insignia and you look at this vehicle, you still see a very strong family resemblance, very intentionally, but not a carbon copy, not just taking this cut and paste and turning into a smaller segment vehicle. So, and on and on. There's other elements as well that feel like they're part of the overall family, but it's kind of a unique interpretation on this vehicle. And I think what our chief of designers would tell you is that, there's a family resemblance, like there would be children in a family, right? But every child is a little bit different and unique, and that's what we want to do, is give this car still a unique feel. So you'll see that sort of similarities, and consistency in the brand between the vehicles, and we think that's very important.
Okay, moving on to the interior. I know there's a lot of research gone into the objects that people carry most typically in their cars. Of all the new storage solutions that you've come up with, you've patented some of them. Can you tell me a bit more about the designs that you've come up with and what you've got patented?
Well, one of the things that we really focused on when this vehicle was designed was finding a place for what people take with them in the car.
Yeah.
And maybe you have heard a little bit of the background here. We actually polled approximately 600 individuals and had them list out what they take with them and carry them in their car, and actually make the list. And then we did a Pareto analysis where we sorted the list and came up with a master list. Yeah. And then that was the criteria that we used when we designed the vehicle in terms of storage spaces. And we think that this car really shines in that regard. In fact, depending on the level and the trim, we have about 19 different places to put stuff in the interior of the vehicle.
Going back to the previous generation for a second, of all the changes that you've implemented, both design-wise and quality, which do you think are the most significant improvements?
I think that it's hard not to look at the car and be excited about the design of the car. I mean, you look at the exterior of the car, and I think the design team just did a fantastic job. And then when you look at the design on the inside of the vehicle too, it's in the past we were very very mechanical or a little rigid, and very efficient, but still we wanted to get more emotion into the design. And if you look at the way that the IP flows out into the doors, and you feel that same sense that you get when you sit in the insignia, sort of being wrapped around and enveloped in the cockpit. I mean, that also is part of this design theme. Then you take a great exterior, a really beautiful design interior on the design theme on the interior, and then you build from there with the mechanicals and innovations that we have in this vehicle. And I think you have a very solid story, and it's a story that allows us to challenge our competitors.